Hi, I'm Beverly Grace. Grab a cup of coffee and let's talk about something that can be both emotional and overwhelming. You've inherited a house. Maybe it was your parents' home, the place where you grew up and celebrated holidays for years. And now, suddenly, you're responsible for figuring out what happens next. Do you sell it, keep it, rent it, clean it out, fix it up? Where do you even begin? If you're in this situation, my first piece of advice is very simple. Don't rush. Let's walk through this together. Step one, make sure you have the legal authority to make decisions. Before worrying about cleaning, repairs, or putting the home on the market, find out exactly how the property is titled and who has the authority to make decisions about it. There may be a trust, there may be a will. Property may need to go through probate. There could be several heirs involved. This is an area where I encourage families to get good legal advice when necessary. You want to know exactly where you stand before making major decisions about the property. Step two, don't start throwing everything away. This is something I feel strongly about. When you're overwhelmed by a house full of belongings, the natural reaction can be, we just need to clean this place out. But take your time. Look for important documents, family photographs, jewelry, military records, collectibles, old coins, and things that may not be worth much money at all, but could mean everything to another member of the family. Once they're gone, you can't get them back. Step three, don't assume you have to fix the house. This is where I see families sometimes spend money unnecessarily. Maybe mom or dad lived in the house for 30 or 40 years. The kitchen is dated, the carpeting is old, there's deferred maintenance, and everyone looks around and thinks, we're going to have to spend a fortune before we can even sell this. Not necessarily. Before you spend thousands of dollars renovating a home you're planning to sell, get an experienced opinion about what the property is worth as it sits today. You may be surprised. Step four, find out what all your options are. This is where I think a real good professional real estate person should really earn your trust. I don't believe every inherited home should automatically be put on the market. Sometimes that's absolutely the best option, but depending on your property and your family's circumstances, you may want to consider selling it traditionally on the open market, selling it as is, selling directly to a qualified cash buyer, keeping it as a rental property, or even keeping it in the family. There are advantages and disadvantages to each choice. My job isn't to tell you what you have to do, it's to help you understand what each option could mean financially and then let you decide what's right for your family. Step five, be careful with the first cash offer you receive. This is important. If a property needs a lot of work, you may start receiving offers from investors. There's nothing inherently wrong with a cash offer. In fact, I've worked with many excellent renovators and cash buyers over the years. But one cash offer doesn't necessarily tell you what your property is worth. I've been able to bring multiple qualified buyers onto properties and let them compete for the opportunity. That's very different from simply accepting the first offer that arrives in your mailbox or your inbox. You deserve to understand what the property may actually be worth before saying yes. Step six, remember that this isn't just a house. This is probably the most important part. When someone has lived in a home for decades, selling it can be emotional. You may walk into a bedroom and remember being tucked into bed there as a child. You may see the kitchen table where your family ate dinner every night. Those memories matter, and there's nothing wrong with feeling emotional about letting the house go. There's another reason I don't believe families should be pressured into making quick decisions. What I would do first. So if you called me this morning and said, hey, Bev, I've inherited a house and I don't know what to do, I'd tell you this. First, make sure you understand the legal situation. Second, protect the important belongings and family memories. Third, don't spend money on the property yet. And then let's sit down, have a cup of coffee, and look at your options. You may decide to sell, you may decide to keep it, you may decide you need some time. All of those can be perfectly reasonable decisions. If you've inherited a home in the Tampa Bay area and you're feeling overwhelmed by what to do next, you're welcome to call me. You don't have to have the house cleaned out. You don't have to make repairs first. And you certainly don't have to know all the answers before you call. We'll simply talk about the property, your family situation, and the choices available to you. There's no pressure and no obligation. Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest financial decisions most of us will ever make. My goal is simply to give you the information you need to make the decision that's right for you. And if I can help, I'd love the opportunity to earn your trust. If this video answered a question you've been wrestling with, then it was worth making. And if there's another real estate question you'd like me to talk about over a cup of coffee, leave it in the comments. Chances are someone else is wondering the same thing. Until next time, God bless, and thanks for having coffee with me.